Yes, my dear student, now I am discussing with you about types of preference share. Preference share can be classified into different categories. First is redeemable preference share. It is a type of preference share which is issued by a company to redeem after a fixed period of time by return back the amount by the company to the preference shareholder. Second one is irredeemable preference share. It is a type of preference share which is issued by a company without any option to redeem the preference share after a fixed period. It will remain as a permanent security, and the money will never return by the company to the preference shareholder. So it is one type of permanent capital for the company. Third one is convertible preference share. It is a type of preference share which is issued by a company to convert preference share into equity share or any other security after a fixed period of time. So conversion option is given by the company to the preference shareholder. If they want, they can convert their share into equity share or any other securities. Next one is non-convertible preference share. It is a type of preference share which is issued by the company without any option to convert preference share into any other securities after a fixed period of time. The next one is number 5, that is participative preference share. It is a type of preference share which is issued by a company who can participate in the surplus profit after payment of dividend to preference share as well as equity share at a normal rate. This is called participative preference share. And non-participative preference share number 6, that is, it is a type of preference share which is issued by a company where the shareholder cannot participate in the surplus profit of the company after payment of dividend to preference share as well as to equity share at a normal rate. You know, the profit of the company is distributed. First, we have to pay debenture interest, then we have to pay tax, then after that the remaining surplus profit we have to distribute fixed dividend to the preference shareholder, then we have to pay dividend to the equity shareholder. After payment of dividend to the equity shareholder, the surplus profit which is remain, we called it retained earnings. So this surplus profit only equity shareholder has right to take, but participating preference shareholder have also right to share this surplus profit. That is why that is called participating preference share. Now I am coming to discuss with you about pricing of issue of share. There are 3 different prices by which share can be sold by the company to the public. One is called at par. At par means equal. Par means equal. So when shares are issued at par, the issue price means the market value of share must be equal to the nominal value of share. Nominal value means registered value or the authorized value which is already written on the face of the share. We also call it face value. So when market value is equal to face value of share, we called it shares are issued at par. If shares are issued at premium, it means the face value, the value of share which is written on the face of the share, the face value is less than the market value. That means issue price is more than the nominal value of share. So at premium, shares are sold at a higher price than the face value of share. So it is a profit for the company. And in par, there is no profit, no loss for the company. And shares can be issued at discount. In discount, the face value which is written on the face of the share, it is more than the market value of share. That means the issue price of share is less than the face value or nominal value of share. So discount is equal to face value of share or nominal value of share minus market value of share. Premium is equal to market value of share minus face value of share. And in par, face value is equal to market value of share. Okay, discount is a loss for the company. So it is treated as a capital loss for the company. Next, I am discussing with you about what are the uses of security premium profit. When the shares are issued at premium, it is a profit for the company. So it is a capital profit for the company. So there are 4 uses of security premium profit. One is this profit can be used to write up loss or discount on issue of share or any other security, that is debenture. Number 2, it can be this security premium profit can be used to write up preliminary expenses of the company. Number 3, security premium profit can be used to write up premium on redemption of debenture or preference by a company. And number 4, security premium profit can be used to write up to issue bonus share out of this security premium capital profit to the existing shareholder, so that shareholder will get the share free of cost. These are 4 uses of security premium profit. Then there are some conditions to issue share at discount. There are 6 conditions to issue share at discount. First condition, the discount which is at which the shares are issued should not be more than 10% of nominal value of share. First condition. Second condition, for issue share at discount, a company should pass ordinary resolution in the annual general body meeting of the company, and it must be sanctioned by company law board. Then third condition, the share which are issued at discount must be a class of share which is already issued by the company. Number 4th condition, at least 1 year must be completed by a company to issue share at discount from the starting of the company, from the date of starting of the company. Number 5th condition, the work regarding issue of share at discount must be completed within 2 months from the date of getting sanction from the company to issue share at discount. And 6th condition, that is, the details about issue of share at discount must be mentioned in the prospectus of the company. Prospectus is issued at the time of subscription of share by the company to the public. Okay, these are 6 conditions which must be fulfilled to issue share at discount. Next, I am discussing about installments at which the share prices can be collected by the company from the applicant. Once the advertisement is given, the prospectus is issued to issue share to the public. At that time, the whole amount can be received either in one installment or in different installment. Normally, a company collect the money from the applicant at the time of issue of share in different installments. First installment money is called as application money, and second installment money is called as allotment money. Third installment is called as first call money. Fourth installment, let it is last installment, then we call it final call money. Normally, discount or premium, normally if it is not mentioned in the question, normally it is adjusted with allotment money. So in allotment, either discount is adjusted or premium is adjusted if nothing is specifically mentioned in the question. Now, journal entry. When we issue share to the public and application money received, the first journal entry will be bank account debited to share application account. Second journal entry will be share application account debited to equity share capital account. Then after application, next is allotment money. So in allotment money, first will not receive, first will transfer to capital account, or we have to due so that we can receive money. So first journal entry to transfer to capital for allotment money, share allotment account debited to equity share capital account. If it is at par, if it is at premium, share allotment account debited to equity share capital account to security premium account. If it is a discount, then share allotment account debited, share discount account debited to equity share capital account. This is the third journal entry. Fourth journal entry. So third journal entry can be at par or at premium or at discount. If premium is there, security premium will be credited. If discount is there, discount will be debited along with allotment. Okay, now fourth journal entry, when we will receive allotment money, journal entry will be bank account debited to share allotment account. And when part call money due, journal entry will be share part call account debited to equity share capital account. When part call money received, journal entry will be bank account debited to share part call account. Then when final call money due, journal entry will be share final call account debited to equity share capital account. And when final call money received, journal entry will be bank account debited to share final call account. Sometimes there may be some call in arrear or call in advance. So call in arrear account will be debited because it is an asset. We will receive the unpaid call in future. So when we will receive the journal entry money, at that time journal entry will be bank account debited for amount received, call in arrear account debited for amount not received to share part call money or share final call money. When there is call in advance, the journal entry will be bank account debited to call in advance account, because call in advance is a liability. We have received excess money from the applicant. And when final any call in arrear account money will be received in future, the journal entry will be bank account debited to call in arrear account. When call in advance money adjusted in respective call, journal entry will be call in advance account debited to share first call or to share second call for which the particular call advance money is received. And one more thing, when there is call in arrear, then company has right to collect interest at the rate of 5% per annum. So journal entry will be interest account will be credited, so bank account debited to interest on call in arrear. And when there is call in advance, bank will pay interest to the applicant at the rate of 6% per annum. So journal entry will be interest on call in advance account debited to bank account. Okay, with this I conclude. Next time proceed. Thank you.